Good morning and welcome back. Students, today we are going to study the literary term antithesis. The literal meaning of the word antithesis is opposite, and it's a rhetorical device in which two opposite ideas are put together in a sentence to achieve a contrasting effect. Antithesis emphasizes the idea of contrast by parallel structures of the contrasted phrases or clauses. The structures of phrases and clauses are similar in order to draw the attention of the listeners or readers. Now, there are some antithetical statements that we use in our everyday life, in our everyday conversations, in arguments and discussions. So, here are a few examples. Number one, give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. So, in this statement, two contradictory or contrasting uh, parallels are used, and the meaning of this statement is that listen to everyone, give every man thy ear means listen to everyone but few thy voice. But be careful in whom you confide or with whom you share your secrets. Then another antithetical statement is man proposes, God disposes. So here also you notice that there is a um, grammatical structure. Um, Contrasting ideas are given in this statement, and this means that whatever man proposes means man plans for something or human beings make plans, but God disposes means only God determines how things will be, or it depends on God whether the plans made by human beings will be successful or not. Then another example is speech is silver but silence is gold. Some more examples are like this: patience is bitter but it has a sweet fruit. Next, money is the root of all evil, poverty is the fruit of all goodness. One more example: you are easy on the eyes but hard on the heart. Now, here are some examples from literature. Alexander Pope, in his essay on criticism, says, to err is human, to forgive divine. This means that fallibility is a trait of humans, of human beings, and God, the Creator, is most forgiving. Through these antithetical ideas, Pope reveals the basic nature of human beings. And what is the basic nature of human beings? That we err, we commit mistakes. But he wants to convey that God is forgiving because his creation is erring. Because we commit mistakes, it is God, our Creator, who forgives us. So, to err is human, to forgive divine. Then another example is from Paradise Lost by John Milton. John Milton in Paradise Lost says, better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. The contrasting ideas of reign and serve means rule or serve, and hell versus heaven are placed in this sentence to achieve an antithetical effect. Now, here are some very beautiful and striking lines from Charles Dickens' novel A Tale of Two Cities, which provides an unforgettable antithesis example. I quote, these lines are like this: it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, we were all going direct the other way. So, the contrasting ideas set in parallel structures markedly highlight the conflict that existed in the time discussed in the novel, the setting of the novel. Now, the function of antithesis. A literary device like antithesis uses words to convey ideas in different ways from the common words and expressions of daily life. Thus, it conveys meaning more vividly than ordinary speech. Number two, when contrasting ideas are brought together, the idea is expressed more emphatically. As a literary device, antithesis makes contrasts in order to examine pros and cons of a subject under discussion and helps to bring forth judgment on that particular subject. So, the meaning, the definition, and some examples of antithesis we have discussed today, and hope this literary term is now clear to you. In our next class, we will discuss about free verse. Till then, thank you.